and welcome to our brand new podcast, The Charlie and Cara Show. And oh my God, we're so honoured and excited to start this journey with you all. So this is just a little introduction because we wanted to share our stories and let you guys know why this podcast is so important to us, what our intentions are, and what you can expect over the up and coming weeks. So just a little bit about our dynamic. I'm actually the seeker, the voice of the audience, the kind of guinea pig that's going to be here and coached on every single week. Cara is our in-house expert coach. She has done this for years and has many, many clients. And what we found is, as Cara was coaching me in some of my struggles in life, and I have many, and I'm really trying to overcome a lot of them so that I can finally have a freer life. And actually, you know, I'm in my 30s and I'm like, I've got to start enjoying life and feeling more free and less suffering, because although there are many things that are outside of our control, I certainly don't help myself by overthinking, being fearful, worrying, etc., etc. So Cara and I were doing these one-on-one coaching sessions and actually realized, like, wow, this would be perfect to do it out loud. So instead of doing it in secret, where it's not helping anyone else in the world but me, why don't we do it out loud so that at the same time, in real time, you guys can all get coached yourself. So let's say it's about insecurities, or I'm struggling with jealousy issues or body image issues, whatever it may be, whilst Cara is helping me through that with tools, with insights, with finding what's going on at the root. You guys are getting the free coaching too. And so that feels so good to kind of, it's a win-win, right? So everyone at the same time is getting this coaching, and Cara gets to work her magic and do what she does best. So I'm going to take it over to Cara just to, give a little bit more detail around what you can expect.
Yeah, so, well, firstly, I'm so excited too.
Yay!
This is going to be so magical. I can't wait for all the breakthroughs that are going to happen for you, Charlie, and for everyone listening.
Yes, can't wait. Can't wait for all of us, guys. It's going to be so cool.
So powerful. So one of the biggest things I'm extremely passionate about is our mindset and how much we create more problems. So as Charlie mentioned, sometimes our thoughts just go off and we end up with way more fear, insecurities, doubts, past memories holding us back. So throughout these episodes on the podcast, we're going to be diving into these piece by piece and really helping you start from the ground up and create this solid foundation, share tools, share perspective shifts, and, you know, reprogramming the subconscious mind, different healing tools, really to allow you to work with us to constantly shift and find some freedom from these things that might be holding you back.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, so excited. And you know, the reason that I'm doing it is because I'm usually a TV host, and I've worked for the Grammys for all of their online content, where I had the privilege of going around to different states and interviewing the most amazing artists and seeing their culture and their food and just their whole creative process, which was such an honor. And I did Big Brother, which was, what an experience. 3 months in that house was incredible. I've been involved with a few different spiritual panel talk shows. And then my favorite thing in the world that I did was work for Hollywood Medium with Tyler Henry on E! Network for 4 years. And it was just the most magical experience of my life, working with Tyler Henry, who is an extremely close friend of mine and someone that taught me that actually there's so much out there that we don't know, and there is a whole nother dimension, and there is the other side. And it just opened my mind up, and it made me feel so much safer in the know that it's not just this little human experience. There's just so much more. He really helped me deepen my spiritual journey and my self-development, and he also just gave me so much hope and just insight and just amazing information over the years I worked with him. Of like, wow, and I literally watched him read thousands of people, you know, some of the most amazing humans and celebrities and non-celebrities and just wonderful people, and it changed my life. He literally changed my life for the better, and you did change so many lives too, and long may that continue. Doing that show actually helped me really hone in that I wanted to still do entertainment and hosting, but within self-development, spirituality, and really positive, hopeful, beneficial things for the world. And my favorite thing in the world to do is to interview and kind of get in the minds of people and learn and talk to all different thought leaders of the world, partly because I want to learn the amazing information and experience and expertise they have for myself, and I love to be the facilitator to share that with everyone too. So I already wanted to host a podcast, but I really wanted to make sure that it was beneficial for everyone, that it was spiritual or self-development or something that's going to help and not be something that I don't care about. And so that's what feels so good, is that I'm here. Yes, I'm usually a TV host, but actually I'm here to be super vulnerable and the voice of the audience and with you all. I have so many things that I've battled my whole life, but especially the last 10 years. And I haven't been able to overcome a lot of it. I've tried everything. I've read every book. I've gone to every retreat, every coach, and a lot of things just weren't shifting. And I'm so ready to shift it once and for all. And since I met Cara, it just seems to be this perfect fit where she just speaks my language. It's like everything she says, it resonates with me. And Cara, will tell you about her own experience in a second. But from my perspective, I finally met a coach. And although all of my coaches have served so many beautiful purposes and like done so much for me, it just felt like the perfect click. And maybe it was also because I'm ready to change, like I'm ready to receive and shift. So I really want to put my heart on the line and get seriously raw and vulnerable. And even if it's really embarrassing for me or cringy or, oh my God, I have shame around it, I still want to say it out loud anyway, because first of all, it feels great to get it off my chest and not be suffering alone. But second, and actually most importantly, when someone gives permission, when someone owns their struggles and their like ugly parts and their embarrassing parts, it's so liberating for the rest of us to hear it, because we're like, oh my God, thank God. It kind of gives us all permission
I
to
struggle with that too.
like, oh my God, thank God she said that. That gives me relief. And I found that when other people own their stuff. So I'm making a commitment out loud right now, hold myself accountable to be fully transparent, so that Cara can really coach me and so that you can feel at home, less alone, and we can all be coached together. So
and we're gonna be diving really deep, and I can't wait to get into this and just keep moving through things, because every single one of us has stories and struggles, and we all have the power to shift that too. And that's what's so important, is that we have the power, and it is a choice, and choosing to make those changes, choosing to commit to yourself and your freedom.
And do the work.
Amazing. And do the work along the way.
But definitely. Make it and that's one of the things we really want to prioritize, is it's going to get deep. We get deep, not going to lie, but in such what I feel is a really like transparent and light and a lot of the time fun way. It's not always going to be fun and light, but a lot of the time it's just like, let's talk about it, but let's have fun while we're doing it,
Yeah, exactly. So we'll both share a little bit about our stories as well. And for me, what started me on my coaching journey and just like my healing journey in general was I kind of had like three, bad things come in threes. So when I was 18, I got a phone call that my brother had just passed away, and he had an allergic reaction to a prescription drug. So that was like my big rock bottom at the beginning. He was my idol, my hero. So it was a lot to work through, and really made me question purpose, life, all that stuff. So soon after that, I was actually raped at my university. And a couple years after that, I hit black ice driving across Canada, and I flipped and rolled 4 times. So throughout the process of all these traumatic events and this heavy energy, I just felt like I needed to find answers, and I knew I needed to look for them elsewhere. Like I wasn't looking for Western medicine. I wanted to try out Eastern medicine, holistic healing, and I began traveling the world, taking a bunch of different certifications, working with different coaches on mindset, energy work, all these different healing tools. And naturally from that, I realized if I can find freedom from my struggles and from the things that I had identified with so strongly, then I can also use these tools and help empower other people to do the same thing. So it really became my mission to just coach and help other people find freedom from their past, freedom from the struggles, and freedom from the mind as well, because I definitely had extreme anxiety, extreme insecurities before all of those things too. So that's like my journey.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you for sharing. And that's one thing I really do want to point out is the reason I trust you, Cara, so much is because you have been through so much, and I look at you in front of me now, and for those that don't know Cara yet, I think that's why I have so much faith and confidence and trust in being coached by you and doing this out loud, because you've been through it all and you've come out the other end. You are so peaceful. You're such a present human being. You find the joy in every single thing. You enjoy life. You're so grateful and you're so chilled. I'm like, I want a bit of that. I'm so hyperactive sometimes, or like all over the place, ungrounded, and you're just strong and grounded and confident in yourself. And I know you're still human. You still have all of your your own stuff.
Yeah.
But I just, it gives me hope that when I see you and you had, so many things go wrong and so much pain and trauma and suffering on top of all the stuff I'm sure you did in your own brain, and you've shifted it all. And I'm like, there's hope. There's hope for all of us, guys.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
It makes me tear up.
I know, I see that. You're getting teary.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
We're going to get teary on this, by the way,
Yeah,
because we're both super emotional women.
Get ready for more of that.
Definitely. So yeah, just to finish that off, a bit about my background, and it will unfold as the episodes go on as well. But in short, I have had a hell of a time as well, like actually kind of all of us have, and a lot of us have. And I've struggled with, I had 8 to 12 years of a really, really bad eating disorder, bulimia. I was really addicted to drugs because I couldn't cope with the stuff that had happened to me with my parents' divorce, and then my grandma dying in my arms at 15, and then being told I couldn't have children at a young age because I had a giant cyst and I had it emergency removed in hospital. Luckily they managed to save an ovary, so I think I can. But
so much heaviness though.
Yeah,
so young.
Lots of heaviness. And then I had the highest grade of precancerous cells of the cervix, where they had to immediately operate on me so that it didn't turn and spread to cancer. So I had the cervix removed, and there was just lots of different things going on, and glandular fever and a termination, and like so much in a short space of time. And I just turned to drugs and addiction and my eating disorder to control, I think. And I just was a mess. I just was escaping my reality. I never dealt with anything. I was super not confident, so I would do that to get confident. Because I didn't have it within myself, and so I'd feel amazing, partying and whatever, because that's where I felt great. And although that stopped quite a while ago, the after effects for the last however many years, it's taken me so long to shift out of that addictive cycles and overthinking everything, completely obsessively overthinking everything. And I have so many insecurities. I still to this day struggle with complete inadequacy in romantic relationships, especially, where I feel like I'm going to be left for another woman because I'm not enough, or once they see all of me and all the ugly parts as well, they'll leave me. So I'm working hard on that right now, and although I've made some progress, I'm really wanting to take that to the next level. And there's a load more, but I think that's enough for one session. But yeah, I want you to know that we all have our stuff, and by teaming up together, sharing our tools, sharing our stories, the power in vulnerability is incredible. And so I want us all to just be able to share more freely and openly about what you're going through, so that we can get it out in the open, and then we can look at it, and then we can start healing it and shifting it, so that we can ultimately have such a much better life. We can have a freer life. We get one chance to be here, and we have no idea when we're going to go. And yet I'm tormenting myself in my brain around overthinking what I said, or how I'm coming across, or people pleasing, or
missing out on everything,
not trusting my decisions, everything. And it's like, I don't want that anymore. I want to, when I look at people that are just like loving life, no matter what's going on, I would love to just be thriving in life, feeling so happy, so accepting of myself for all of it, and loving life, loving everyone, and feeling the freedom that really is out there once you get past all the blocks. So that is the intention for this show. And
I just want to touch on that super quickly before we get into
you go on, girl. Touch on that.
Right before we get into our first coaching episode, I just want to say that what's so important of what you mentioned is that there were times in the past where you were trying to deal with the trauma or deal with the heaviness by masking or bottling it or turning to different things. And what's so beautiful about this process for all of us and everyone listening is that we're working on unpacking. We're working on like clearing this stuff out, getting rid of it so that you can actually heal and move forward and no longer have it weigh you down. And so that's definitely, just to summarize everything that we're here to do, it's really to help you master your own mindset, to heal and be able to move through whatever life has brought your way. Absolutely. And give you the tools so that you feel empowered and strong and capable. Amen. and worthy of the best.
Absolutely. And at the very least, even if you don't resonate with some of it, or you don't necessarily like find the tools helpful because you already know them, at the very least, we really hope that you feel less alone in this, that there's somewhere you can come and listen to where you're like, wow, these two girls, at least they're just being so honest and just sharing, and I feel like I'm part of a team, or I'm not on this crazy life alone. And that's a huge priority for us.
Support.
Exactly that. And on the subject, we really want this to be interactive. Every single week, or whenever you feel like it, write into us to our email address or our Instagram, which is @CharlieandCara. And we honestly want you to DM us with any questions, any topic requests, so that we can actually address or have a whole episode dedicated to something that you might be struggling with, because we might not touch on that. And we want to be in on this together as a team, so it's an interactive experience.
So I guess, are you feeling good with that? With that said, should we dive into the very first episode?
Let's do it.
Okay. Yay. Amazing. Well, it's so great to have you guys here. Can't wait to be on this with you.
And thank you for landing here with us. If you are here right now listening, it is perfect timing. It is divine timing, and absolutely meant to be.
Whatever is meant for you, you'll find it.
Exactly. We already love you. We're in this together, and we will see you for our first episode.
Bye, guys.
Bye.